Today we're going to continue writing code for our baby bot that we just recently finished building. And let's start out by adding the two remaining servos to our code. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to download our servo tool. And this is going to let us find out where we need things to go. Okay, so we push the logo button. There is eyes. We don't need that. Push this again to rotation. Okay, so for rotation, oh, hello, Sophie. Let's go one way. And I want to go about 45 degrees or so. That seems about right. Go 120. So let's see, we don't need this anymore. I'm going to go add state to the robot. And I did create this recently, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now, I want to find my servo constraints. And let's add a new constraint. We're going to add all uppercase. Head rotation, and looking at the robot, this is to the right. Head rotation to the right. 120. Let's go back to 90 by pushing both buttons. Excuse me there, kitty. Oh, hey. What are you doing to the poor baby bot? No wrestling. No wrestling the baby bot. You just keep moving. All right. Let's go back to here's blink. And there was something eyes. We wanted to make sure that our eyes and I was thinking 114 was about right. And that's pretty good. Okay, now let's go to next setting. Rotation. All right, let's go back. Let's square him up. That looks square. That looks square. No, not quite. Let's go over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so at 83 degrees, he is looking straight forward. Put his head back on, because that cat knocked his... What the? Don't knock his head off again. I just put it back on. All right, so let's go back over here. Oh, you're going to come over here and bother me now, huh? All right, so... Oh, I forgot. Head rotation center is 83 degrees. Okay, so, all right, we're coming back over here, kitty. We're coming back over to help. Okay, So let's turn the head over this way. We get to about 45 degrees. That seems about right. Yep. And that is 53 degrees. Thank you for your help, Sophie. She's so helpful. All right. What did I say that was? 53 degrees. All right. So head rotation left as we're looking at the robot. $53. These aren't that critical because you won't break your robot if you go too far one way or the other. That's a perfectly fine thing. Now let's go to the center again. Excuse me. $83 degrees. Okay, let's go to the next setting, and that is elevation. So let's level that robot out. When is that robot looking straight? There we go. What is that? Somehow I am touching the logo. There we go. That is 81 degrees. Okay, 81 degrees. Oh. Head level. Okay, now from here, excuse me, kitty, we want to put our robot's head down. Let's see how far it can go. And that's about as far as I want to take it. And that is 47 degrees. Oh, I forgot to put down what I believe that was 81 degrees. What you doing there, kitty? Let's go back. And this is 90 degrees. Let's go up. See how far up we want to go. And hi, kitty. Yes. All right, that's pretty good. I'm looking in the back to see where it's starting to crunch the cables. We can go up a little bit higher. But then we start to get the cables are starting to get bound up. Go back to, there must be a something on the back that I'm touching which causes it. There's elevation. Elevation is 127. 127 degrees. Okay. So let's go into the code now that we've got that. And I want to add another one of these, another two, that move our servos around. And they all start with set. So set, but not uppercase, set. And let's do head rotation 2. All start like that. And you can see here. Set eyes to, oh, I want to change that because I changed a little bit elsewhere. Set eye rotation 2. That's better. And this is, I think I've changed this to be set eyelid position 2. Okay. Set head rotation 2. I need to edit that again because I forgot to add the angle. And basically, it's going to be a lot like one of these other ones. So we need a current head rotation. I'm going to set that by constraining the angle to, and this is head rotation, so let's look for head rotation left to head rotation right. And I want to make sure those are in the right order. Left and right in that order. And then I'm going to want to set the servo position. Now, head rotation is servo 7. Let's set that servo 7. And it isn't current eye rotation, it is current head rotation. Okay, so there we have that. That's ready. Let's create another one. Set head position 2. Angle. And I'm probably going to want to go back and change a few things because I've just been calling it head, not head position. Okay. Elevation is 8. Okay, instead of position, let's call it elevation. Keep it the same. Angle is angle. We're going to need a current. Yeah, don't need to do that. I can just do this. Okay, head up. Oh. Elevation. Okay. Now I need the 2 constraints for elevation. I want head down to head up. And I want to rename these. Head elevation down. Rename this. Head elevation up. And one more. Oh no, that was head rotation. We don't have a, wait, we do. We have level. Head level. Where are you? There you are. Oh, pushed the wrong button. That's fine. Okay. And goodbye. Okay, so now I have these 4, which constrain. Let's make sure those are in the right order. Down is smaller than up. So down is smaller than up. Okay. Yep, we have 4 of them. And they all keep track of where the current position is. So now we have all of these. I'm just pushing here. All right. So now I want to be able to very simply create a new action sort of function. If I want to add a function, new action, I have a pattern to do that. And here's what I've come up with. So as we've seen in previous videos, whenever you create a new state for our computer to be in, you have to add the new state to state constants. We have to add the new state to the finite state machine, and we have to create a function to do that action. We have these do functions over here. And now there's a new sort of thing that came about recently. Well, okay, not recently for you, before you were born, but recently for me. And that is, we don't want to do a whole lot of big design up front. That's an engineering approach. We don't want to do the full-blown engineering approach for most programs. Some programs we do, but most programs we don't. And this falls into the we don't sort of place, because nobody's going to die if our robot looks at us the wrong way. Okay. So, and you might be thinking, well, how is this not? Well, I've already created 4 functions that implement an action of some sort. So I'm actually pretty well knowledgeable on what I ultimately need to be able to create a new action. So having built 4 of them, I can now look at what I've got and design a framework that new actions will fit into. Okay. So we're going to add, so when we create, we've added a new state for these. And what we want to do is on count 0, we're going to test the validity of the action, set the final count, and set new servo positions. As we saw over here, we had new and old positions. So for each of these servos, we're going to have a current, an old, and a new position. Okay, and I'm gonna make those now. And you might be thinking there's another saying, which is you aren't gonna need it. Also called YAGNI. You are not gonna need it. I'm pretty sure I do need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add them. This is not a violation of the you aren't gonna need it policy. So let's see what I need. Okay, so I've got 4 currents. What about old? Old I rotation. I need old, do not shout about it. Old, and I think it's old eyelid position. Is that right? Current eyelid position. So old eyelid position is the right thing to do. Let's see what we have now. Got old eye rotation, old eyelid position. We need head elevation, head rotation. Okay. Old head elevation. Head rotation. We have elevation and rotation. Okay, there's our 4 old: elevation, rotation, position, and eye rotation. We also need news. The only one that we have is new eye rotation. So let's create new eyelid position. Create another new head elevation and new head rotation. So I've got those 4 variables of 3 different types for each servo now. And so what am I going to do with those? Well, I'm going to create a function that updates them to the right values. Call it update servo positions. So, and what I'm saying is I want to set the new servo positions based on what I want the robot to do. And the old servo positions need to be updated to the current servo positions. So let's find old. Old eye rotation needs to be current eye rotation. Old eyelid position needs to be current eyelid position. Old head elevation should be current head elevation. And old head rotation, current head rotation. And where do I want to call that? Well, I want to call these whenever I'm going to start doing something new. And as we know, that's here in this forever loop. So I'm going to set the movement counter back to 0. I'm going to update the servo positions, and then I'm going to set the robot state. Now, do we need to update the new? I don't know. And at this point, I am going to invoke you aren't going to need it and say, I'm not going to do that yet. Because I don't know if I'm actually going to need that. So I'm not going to do it yet until I actually need it. Okay, so let's go back to our pattern. Test the validity of the action. Set the final count. We've got that set final count, set final count, set final count, set new servo positions. Now in the blink, we're not doing it iteratively. But in these two, centering the eyes, we've got this whole setting the new eye rotation. And here's something we no longer need. You see, we were setting the old to the current, but we don't need that anymore because we have a function that does all of them at one time. And we have moved that over to the forever loop, where it can be called for each and every one of these. Okay, so here is, we haven't really tested the validity, but we've got this, and then we set eye rotation to this map. Okay, so now that I have 4 servos, I'm going to make a function, and it's called move servos proportionately. And I'm going to need a start, and I'm going to need a finish. Am I going to need those? I think I am, because I need go from the low to the high, old eye and new eye rotation. These are all there as variables already. Movement counter is global already. I don't think I need these. I don't need them yet. So you aren't going to need it. I'm not going to add them yet. So here's one of the 4 things we need to do. Here's the next. All right. So I don't want to set eye rotation. I need something else. Eyelid position. Eye rotation, eyelid position. We're going to still do the map. And we're going to go from low, but we're going to use eyelid position, the old eyelid position to the new eyelid position. And we need another one. Head rotation could come next. Not what I wanted to do. That's what we want to do. Let's duplicate this. Plug that in. So we want to go from the old head rotation to the new head rotation. The next thing we want to do is head elevation. Nope, got me again. You tricked me into clicking on the wrong thing. put these in the order we normally see them. Zero to final count. Old head elevation to new head elevation. Okay, so now we have this, which moves all of the servos proportionally. We don't have to call them out individually. We can just run them all based on what we set. So that is a savings in complexity. So what I'm trying to do here is reduce the complexity of creating a new action. And even though I have created something that is perhaps, one could argue, less efficient, it is simpler. And simpler is what we are looking for. So if old rotation and new rotation are the same, it's not going to move it. Same here. So only the new, when those two are different, does it move anything. Okay, so we've done a lot. Let's try and test it now. Make sure it actually works, because that would be a problem if it didn't work. Unplug that, plug it into okay, that's a problem. All right, first off, we have some initialization to do. Initialize robot is what we called it. So we want to reset the eyelids to eyelids up. So there's an initialization, that's good. Eye position, let's do it this way. I'm gonna get rid of this pause because I don't think that's we're gonna need that. So we're gonna set the eye rotation to left. Then we're going to do some other stuff, and then we'll do eye center from left. Okay, so we need, what else do we need? We got eye rotation, eyelid position. We need head rotation. Again, and that's going to go here. Just to take up a little bit of time, we want head rotation to be head rotation center. And we want head elevation to be head elevation level. Okay. So there's our initialization. That should put our robot in the right spot. Up. We haven't set new eye rotation yet, have we? We have not. Okay. Let's do a little more initialization. So once we've set everything to where we want it to be, we need to update the servo positions. So all of these that set current are going to get put into the old. And then for right now, because I don't know if I need it in that function, I'm going to do the news. New eye rotation is current eye rotation. New eyelid position is current eyelid position. New head elevation is current head elevation. Rotation, rotation. Okay, so there's our initialize. Let's see what that does now, because the last version wasn't so great. Had a couple problems. Well, there's definitely some dry eyes going on there. Let's go back here. I want to know why the head is not getting leveled. Let's check. '81. That should be right. I'm going to download that again. Make sure we have move servos proportionately. Elevation, rotation. Oh, did I update the servo? Seven. Head elevation is not servo 7, it's servo 8. You guys are watching me laughing hysterically, aren't you? Just laughing. Wait till this happens to you. Then I'll laugh at you too. You go ahead and laugh. That was crazy. All right. Okay. New version. And this, by the way, is why we have this abstraction. I've just demonstrated to you why we have this abstraction, because it's so easy to get the wrong servo number. I've just done it. You've seen it. Okay. There we go. Oh, what are you doing? What are you trying to do, robot? Got like a fly buzzing around you or something? Because you got no hands? You have to try and bite him? Okay, that's not good. Let's go back and see let's see what else I've done wrong that you guys already know what I've done wrong. And you're just waiting for me to figure it out. Eye rotation, eye rotation, eye rotation. All right. Somewhere. These don't match up. Somewhere. All right. Eye rotation, eyelids, head elevation, head rotation. Oh, I saw it. Did you see it? Right there. this could have broken my robot if it weren't for, ta-da, this level of abstraction that we added, where we've got this constraint so that it would not go out of range and cause our robot to break. Okay, so a couple times there we've demonstrated you need those functions. You need that level of protection. Let's see what this does now. All right, let's plug him in. Let's go to the camera. Okay, now he's okay. Eyes are a little bizarre, but you know, what are you gonna do? You got to fix that. But yeah, he works. Okay. Oh, we're getting cat hair. Pull that off of there. Where did we get that cat hair from? Must have been Sophie. Okay, so what else do I want to do in this video? Well, one thing we didn't do is test validity of the action. Do nothing, we don't have to test for the validity. Do nothing can come at any time, anywhere, and we'll just count to 10, and there we go. Blink. Blink can come at any time. We don't have to test for anything for validity. It is a little bit different than the script, but I'm okay with that. Center the eyes. Well, that's really only valid if we're looking to one side or the other, isn't it? That's right. So let's do this. So we're going to put this in first, and we're going to say, right now we haven't implemented partial movements. We're moving it all the way to the constant. We haven't really implemented it, and I don't know that I'm going to do that. I don't know if I need to. So we want to know if it's near the center. So I think I want an and here. So, and I'm going to want one of these. Actually, I think I'm going to use equal. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to look at what the current eye rotation is. And if that is equal to eye center from the left, or, I was right the first time, it is an or. Sometimes I work against myself. Or eyes center from the right. We know that we have just recently gone to the center. We've moved our eyes to the center. And doing the center again really doesn't make much sense. So it'll make sense if we're not doing, if this is not true. But if that is true, we'll set the final count to 0, and it'll choose something different. Okay. Call servos proportionately. the new and old should be equal, so it shouldn't move it. Besides, this is going to be the 0 out of however many, and that's generally a stationary. It doesn't move it because it's all the way at the bottom of the range. So that should be fine. So basically, if we say center the eyes and we're already at the center, don't bother. Just don't bother. All right, let's look at this one. Do look around. So we want to look around. We want to move our eyes a little bit. So what kind of validation do we want to do? Well, we can always move the eyes. It's just where. So I'm going to pull this out for a second. And let's see what we have. So if this is that, right? We know that the eyes are in the center. Why did you pull apart like that? Okay, so we can do something. Otherwise, if the eyes are to left, oh, I need to change those all to eye rotation, left eye. You know what? I'm going to leave it for right now because it's not confusing me. All right. If it was confusing to me, I would definitely change it. You know what? I'm going to change it because I get confused easily. So uppercase. Having just realized eye rotation left, there's another one we want to change. Where are you? Right. Another thing that this will do is it'll bunch these together. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong button. Okay. Right. And I wish there was a way to copy and paste because I just want to type a little bit. Eye rotation center from right. Oh, forgot the T. Let's rename this. Now you might think this is silly and a waste of time, but it really isn't, because as this program becomes more and more complex, it's going to become more and more confusing to know which variable is which. It's going to become hard to find the variable we want. We've already got 2 pages of variables. By doing this, I have all of the rotations are right there. Head rotation, eye rotation, all right next to each other. Current is all together. New is all together. Old is all together. So it's very easy now to find these variables because we got like 4 of everything. Every variable we create, we're going to have 4 of them. So keeping them in groups of 4 is really a good idea. That's why I'm doing this, and I'm being so fussy about it. Okay, so if our eyes are straightforward, what do we want to do? Well, we have 2 choices. We can look to the left or we can look to the right. And I'm going to do those equal amounts. Oh, I already had that. Okay, so initialization sets the final count, and then since it's always valid, I just need to check whether I'm going to go to the left or the right. Now, if the rotation is all the way to the left, there's really only one place I can do, and that is going to be this one, which is center the eyes. Now, I may not need that center the eyes. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to actually delete it here and now. We shall see. You probably already know. High rotation left. Okay, so this can be used if that is to the left or to the right. I'm always going to go to the center, right? I don't care if it's to the left or the right. I'm always going to the center. So I don't actually need to differentiate those, so I can get rid of that. Okay, so that's pretty simple now. Okay, so whenever we're looking around, center, oh, wait a minute. If I'm in the center, oh, I only have two. But if I'm left or right, I have center, but I also have left and the other. I could go all the way from left to right. I don't know if I want to do that or not, but I could. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to allow for that. I will allow that. I'm going to put that back in. So there are two things I can do if the eyes are on the left. And I'm going to pick those in equal distribution. So I can go to the center, or I can go to the right. Now, if I'm going from left to right, I'm going to give it twice as much time. So I'm going to also set the final count to be 2 times the final count. Now, let's talk about that. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Ah, there. Okay, now you might be saying, well, couldn't you just put a 30 in there? I could, but it would require me, if I decided to go from 15 to 18, I'd have to change it in 2 places. By doing this, I only have to change it in 1 place. Now, another thing you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute. You're pulling a fast one in here. No magic numbers. Now, no magic numbers is a rule where you don't put a raw number in some place without explaining what it is. But this is an exception because we know what final count means. Final count means that you're going to go 15 iterations. We know that. We know what it means. This is not, I say, a magic number. Okay. Now that we've clarified that, let's do what happens if we are looking to the right. So we can go to the center, or we can go to the left. Okay, this is kind of getting big, but I'm not sure if I can simplify this. How could I simplify this? Well, one thing I could do is move this up here and take this and say the eyes right and get rid of this. And the reason I'm doing that is because this gives me a much clearer idea of why I'm doing this particular set of operations. So I can look at this and say center, center, or this is what happens when the eyes are center. I rotation equals I rotation left. This is what happens when it's left. If I have an else there, I have to kind of look up and say, well, okay, well, what conditions are there possible? Okay, I can have it center, I can have it left, so this must be right. I'm just going to spell it out for you. This is what happens when the eyes are already to the right. That's a simplification. Even though it does not change the functionality one iota, it's easier for us to look at that and say, that's what we do when the eyes are already pointing to the right. Now, I've added a lot of code without testing any of it. So, I guess I better do that. All right. So let's plug it in. Download. Unplug, plug it in. Let's see what we got. And it appears to be working. Okay. Now, I'm going to finish a little bit. I'm going to change a little bit here just to finish up because there's something I don't need anymore. In here in this finite state model, I have centering eyes. Now, I've decided not to have, it's giving side eye. I've decided not to have giving side eye. Let's isolate. Oh, you know what? Silly me. There. And I'm going to take centering eyes out because we've kind of put that functionality into moving eyes. So we've got blinking, moving eyes, nothing. So blinking goes to nothing. Centering eyes is not going to be a thing anymore. We've got blinking, we've got nothing. We've got moving eyes, nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm going to go ahead and put blinking down here. And I'm going to change this to moving eyes. Okay. Giving side eye is now gone. So what can we do when we are done moving eyes? Well, we can move the eyes again. What else can we do? I don't think I want to put blink here because we're already blinking too much, and we don't really have a lot to do yet. So we need to add more states, and I think we'll be doing that next. There's nothing, and let's put another nothing in here. So blinking should be relatively rare now, I hope. And moving eyes will be somewhat less. I'm going to put this to nothing. That'll make him look a little less shifty, looking around too much. So a lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. All right, so there are our states. Let's get rid of where are the states state constants. All right. So centering eyes, no, we don't want that. Giving side eye, no, we don't want that. There we go. Do center the eyes. Well, you aren't going to need it. Goodbye. So we've got do nothing, do look around. And that's pretty much it. Do nothing, moving eyes. Moving eyes, I'm going to rename that to be closer to the variable or the function name. We have looking around and we have do looking around. Remember, we're doing this so that it's easier for us to look at this later and understand what we're doing. And now we have this. This is instructions for how do we add a new action easily. Let's see if this actually works at all, because that's a good thing to have in a program. Plug it in. Let's download it. And see if our new framework for adding actions easily works. A lot of eye movement still. Okay. Perhaps too much blinking. You can see where there might be a little too much blinking going on. Yeah, eyes are still a little spooky, but they move pretty much at a constant rate, even if they go from side to side. And one side, not quite there yet. One side seems to be a little bit too far. Okay, so just right now, let's servo constants, that's what we want. So eye rotation left is a little bit too large. So we're going to go more towards the center, 72. Eye rotation right is a little bit too small, 116. Okay. And so I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. The cat's had a good nap, which is always a good thing. And I will see you for the next video. Thank you for watching.